The bonsai tree I've got for you today is my Cotoneaster. In 2021 it was looking quite distressed, so we carefully repotted it, then let it rock out. Now it's time to start the styling process to restore the bonsai to its former glory. So without further ado, let's kick off the episode. The first task is to clean up the branches so that we can make sense of what we've got. I cut back excessively long branches, clusters growing from the same spot, buds in the crotches, and unwanted dead material. It's time-consuming work, but the idea at this stage is that all the decisions are quick and easy. If I have to think about it, I need to take guidance from the design, which isn't yet known. So I leave those decisions for later, because if I change my mind, I can't cut them back on. Now that I can see the important branches, I need to check for any structural issues that may be developing, namely multiple thick branches in one location on the trunk. As they thicken, they can cause unsightly bulges that we try to avoid in bonsai. Generally, trees start thick and taper to thinner and thinner subdivisions. We subconsciously expect that taper from thick to thin, so the opposite of that can look unbalanced and awkward. Deciding to remove primary branches and which one isn't to be taken lightly. It's a compromise between quality and location. Which is the best branch? Which has the most ramification? Is there another branch nearby to fill the empty space left behind? However, I'm not leaving the branches as deadwood, because the soft wood of Cotoneaster just won't last, especially in my cold, wet garden. I'm actually cutting off more than I anticipated. This tree has clearly been a very nice bonsai in the past. I could have simply trimmed it a couple of times through the year and it would have looked great. But with the bonsai being unmaintained for a while, I have an opportunity to cut back a little harder and build some taper into the branches. It will cost a couple of growing seasons of progress, but hopefully the quality will improve beyond what could be achieved by being conservative. So far, I've been treating the left side as the front, because the deadwood at the base is rotting. If it's lost, the base looks weaker, so I favour the side with less deadwood near the soil. I use annealed copper wire to position the branches into negative spaces created when pruning. It's spring 2022 now, and the Cotoneaster Bonsai has responded really well to the previous work. But the deadwood at the base is really bothering me. I'm going to treat it with a penetrating epoxy resin. I apply the resin liberally, trying to keep it off the soil. Once fully cured, I use a wire brush to roughen up any glossy surfaces so that it isn't shiny and new looking. Time will tell about its longevity, but I'm happy with that. Now that I have confidence that the deadwood isn't going to disintegrate, I feel better about incorporating it into the design. I think the base, deadwood features and movement of the trunk look better with the tree moving to the right. So I've got some work to do reorienting the branches and the apex. but not before I've removed the previous wire, which has done its job and is in danger of causing damage to the bark. Looking back with the benefit of hindsight, I could have saved some time if I had designed with the trunk moving right from the get-go. If the deadwood didn't work out, then I could have pivoted. We'd have been a bit further along in the process if I'd have gone with that choice. Oh well, it is what it is. I cut back the finest twigs to 2 buds/leaves, or to the desired length if I need elongation. Pruning to 2 encourages the branches to subdivide, increasing the number of twigs. More twigs mean the tree's energy is shared among more and more buds, so the growth becomes finer over time. Here's the tree in the autumn/fall of 2022. I'll prune elongated branches back to length. I'm also going to edit the apical region. Oh yeah, that branch, the main branch. Looks weak, doesn't it? I've removed the wire from it, even though it wasn't holding yet. Hopefully it will bounce back. Honestly, I've got no idea what's going on. I've replayed the footage of the wiring and bending process over and over, and I can't see anything of concern, so I'm clueless. Fingers crossed that it's going to make it. Earlier in the styling process, it was about making big moves and bold decisions to enhance the future quality of the design. We're assessing primary branches, those that are attached to the trunk, for inverse taper and congestion. Later in the design process, the moves are finer and concerned with the size and shape of the pads, the canopy, and pruning for ramification. This is the bonsai process, training the tree for peak efficiency rather than size. I think it will really enhance the tree to incorporate the same environmental forces acting on the trunk into the design of the canopy. The trunk tells a story of being weighed down with snow, perched on the edge of a cliff, with wind sweeping over it from the side. To carry that feel through the tree, I'm flattening and widening the apical region of the canopy. However, I'm not going full compression like we would a pine or a juniper say. At least not in the long run. It does look a bit like that at the moment though. But I really feel that some width to the canopy is going to really play on the direction of the trunk. Future work will be to push the directionality of the canopy by developing some width. I'll also break up any large pads into multiple smaller billows of foliage. That will make the tree look more miniature in scale and also allow fine-tuning of the silhouette of the canopy, which is a little awkward right now. Oh, and the branch. Let's wait and see what it does. Hopefully it survives. If not, there will be a large gap to fill.